Hey, what's up? We're going to go over a practice problem from the section Right Triangle Trigonometry. So let's go ahead and get started. So in this problem, we are asked to find the side length x, this unknown side length for the right triangle that's given here. We are given the hypotenuse length of 12 and this interior angle of 30 degrees. Okay, it's important to note that it's a right triangle because there's lots of different types of triangles, but right triangles, we are specifically allowed to use the strategy involving SohCahToa only if it's a right triangle. All right. So in order to use SohCahToa properly, we have to identify the adjacent hypotenuse and opposite sides relative to the angle that we're analyzing. Okay. The easiest of the three, I would say, is the hypotenuse, which is always the longest side, or across from this 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and label that as hypotenuse. Okay. And then adjacent is going to be the one, like adjacent is like next to. So it's what the one next to 30 degrees, but it's not going to include this hypotenuse because it's already used. So I have this side and this side. This is the hypotenuse. So adjacent is going to be this side. Okay. The opposite side will be the one opposite from the 30 degrees. All right. Opposite. Okay. So now we have to figure out which two of the three sides we want to choose in order to plug into our equations. So we want to, for solving an unknown side, we want to choose the side that we don't know, the one that we're solving for, and a side that we do know. Okay? See how we're leaving out the adjacent side. So right now we want to choose an equation that has opposite and hypotenuse only. All right. So stands for sine of the angle we're analyzing is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. All right. For sake of argument, let's look at these other two just to make sure. Ka is cosine equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's adjacent over hypotenuse. Notice that we don't have adjacent circled because that's not one of the two that we want to analyze. So ka is out and toa is tangent of the angle is opposite over adjacent. Also includes that adjacent that we don't want. Great. So we have so that we're going to use. Let me show you how to use it. So is sine of the angle that we're analyzing is equal to opposite, which is x, what we're solving, over hypotenuse, which is 12. Great. So in this problem, we want to solve for x. All right. So we are going to do the opposite operation of what's done to the x in order to isolate it. So when you have x divided by 12, the opposite operation would be multiplied by 12. And you always have to balance the equation out. So let's multiply a 12 to both sides. And you'll get x is equal to 12 sine 30 degrees. Sine of 30 is something that you can plug into your calculator. You have to make sure that the calculator is set to degrees mode as opposed to radians. If that's the case, sine of 30 is the value of 1/2 or 0.5. So 12 times 1/2 is equal to 6. And this is the answer to the problem, find the side length x for this right triangle. Great. See you in the next one.